By now, I would hope that most people have come to the realization that a group of people who are all a part of the same secret society are the ones running the world. Men that we all refer to as the quote-unquote elite that are behind the scenes shaping our reality. These men are all a part of the same brotherhood and took the same oath of secrecy, vowing to protect their secrets at any cost. Secrets that they have made sure the masses will never know about. But have you ever wondered what those secrets were? And why are they so eager to protect them? Only if there was a way to find out their secrets. Well, what if I told you someone already did and put their secrets in a book that you all can read? Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about the book The Mystery of Freemasonry, which contains the Mason's secrets and rituals. Let's get right into it. When most people hear about secret societies, they instantly think conspiracy theory. But the thing is, America was actually built by one of the most powerful secret societies in the world, the Freemasons. Here in America, the presence of the Freemasons is everywhere. We can find Masonic symbols on the back of the dollar bill, like the Masonic all-seeing eye. This is because the founding fathers who built America after the war were mostly Freemasons. George Washington, the first president of the United States, was a 33rd degree Mason. So were 13 signers of the Declaration of Independence. It is believed that half of those who attended the Constitutional Convention in 1787 were Freemasons, but I believe it was 90%. The founding fathers were all Freemasons. Benjamin Franklin, Paul Revere, and James Otis were all confirmed Freemasons. It's not just in America either, as in the UK, the royal family is also heavily involved with Masonry. Currently, the Duke of Kent has been the Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England since 1967, making him the 10th and longest-serving Grand Master in the organization's history. The royal family is all Masonic. Even Queen Elizabeth's nurses wore Masonic emblems, as even her doctors and nurses were Masons. What's interesting about this is that if you saw my video on the skull and bones, you would know that all of the US presidents but one is related by blood to the royal family. This is because those chosen to create America were handpicked by the Masonic royal family, which is why the founding fathers are all Masons. America was built to be the new world for the Masonic order, a new Masonic world they were going to lead. That's why when America was stolen, Columbus declared he discovered the new world. Since the beginning, the Freemasons have been the secret society behind the scenes guiding the world. While most people have heard about the Freemasons, they don't really know anything about them. They don't know what they do in their lodges, and they don't know what Masonry is about. That's because the Freemasons are a secret society, obviously. The only people who know what Masonry is truly about are those that join. That is the only way to find out their secrets. That means that us non-members will never know what the most powerful people in the world are truly up to. What are the world elite doing at those Masonic lodges? The only way for us to learn the Masonic secrets is if someone were to infiltrate their organization by joining undercover in order to document all of their secrets and rituals. A man who would pretend to be a Mason and risk it all to reveal the truth. Unfortunately, no one is crazy enough to attempt that, as it could be dangerous, knowing that when a person becomes a Mason, they are forced to take an oath punishable by death if broken. No one will ever do that. Well, what if I told you that someone did exactly that and paid the ultimate price to reveal the truth about Masonry? In today's episode, we will be talking about the story of William Morgan, the man who risked it all to reveal the Masonic secrets. I will retell his amazing story of how he infiltrated the Freemasons undercover to expose their secrets and published it all in a book called The Mystery of Freemasons and the Illustration of Masonry. Two books I bought some time back that I have been using to help me expose the truth about Masonry. I won't be breaking down every single page about this book, as that would make this video too long, and a lot of the stuff in this book is just detailing Masonic rituals. The book mostly tells us on how Masons have to prepare for every ritual in the lodge, and things of that sort. What I will do is present some of the important Masonic secrets that I learned from this book, like the Masonic word that every Master Mason knows, or the secret poses, as some of them are shown in this book. I hope you're ready to uncover the Masons' hidden secrets and rituals. Now, before we get to talking about the book and the secrets, it's important we talk about the story that got us the book, one that is rarely told. In the 1800s, William Morgan joined the Freemasons in Canada, going through the first 3 degrees and becoming a Master Mason. By 1825, William managed to receive the Royal Arch degrees, which is essentially the 7th degree in Masonry. After this, William kept climbing in Masonic degrees, learning their rituals and secrets. Eventually, the Masons became suspicious of William as something about him seemed off to them, so they began to question him on his purpose in Masonry. This is when William ended up telling the truth about his involvement in the lodge, something that would eventually end up costing him everything. William told the Masonic leaders questioning him that he had been secretly documenting their Masonic secrets and rituals, letting them know that he had cut a deal with a local newspaper publisher owned by a man named David Miller. David Miller himself tried to join the Masons to document their secrets, but he was kicked out of the organization after only the first degree. William had been documenting every ritual he had participated in. The Masons didn't like this one bit and quickly went into cleanup mode. Not long after William told the Masons he was revealing their secrets, they attempted to get rid of his publisher Miller and his print shop, as Miller's shop caught fire mysteriously after announcing the book. After this, the Masons went after William as he would get arrested on trumped-up charges of non-payment of a loan and for stealing a shirt and tie. When David Miller heard the news, he headed down to the jail to bail William out. Not long after this, William was once again falsely arrested, this time for failure to pay a $2 tavern bill. While he was in jail, the jailer took a quote-unquote break right as a group of Freemasons arrived at the jail. The jailer's wife then released William and gave custody of him to the group of Masons. These men then loaded William onto a boat heading towards the Niagara River, and William Morgan was never seen again. It is believed that when the Masons took William on the boat, they most likely made him go overboard. Honestly, if you ask me, that's exactly what happened. After they got rid of William, the Masons expected the book not to be released, but Miller still went ahead and released the book, exposing the Masons' secrets. Even though some Masons deny having anything to do with the disappearance of William, Masonic members were indeed arrested for their involvement, with a man named Eli Bruce serving 24 months for the crimes against Morgan. 3 other Masons, Lonton Lawson, Nicholas Cheeseborough, and Edward Sayer, were convicted of taking part in the crimes and also served light sentences. When the world heard the story of William Morgan, the book ended up becoming a bestseller in the 1800s. The story of William even ended up spawning a new presidential party dedicated to the opposition of Masonry called the Anti-Masonic Party. People had seen what the Masons were willing to do to protect their secrets, and they realized that all presidents have been Freemasons and no longer wanted the leader of our country to be a Masonic puppet. This is why to this day, the Masons don't reveal which presidents since have been Masons. Eventually, the Masons managed to get rid of the Anti-Masonic Party. They made sure to hide themselves for a long period of time in order to clean up their public image. They also started doing charity and donations to change their public perspective. Eventually, people forgot all about the book, and the Masons got back to business as if it never even happened. To this day, most people don't even know who William Morgan is. They don't know that they can, to this day, purchase that book that William Morgan risked it all to release. This is the book that William was eliminated for, and I see exactly why they didn't want this information out there, as it exposes all of their rituals and secret phrases, which we'll be going through in a bit. The first important thing I learned from this book was the amount of Masonic chapters within Freemasonry. I only knew of a few of them, but this book introduced me to a bunch of other Masonic chapters I never even heard about. These are the degrees and chapters he tells us about in the book. He talks about the Royal Arch chapters and the Grand Encampment of the Knights Templars, also the Knights of the Red Cross, of the Christian Mark, and of the Holy Speckler. Also the 11 infallible degrees conferred in the Lodge of Perfection and the higher degrees of the Prince of Jerusalem. He also talks about the Knights of the East and West, the Venerable Grand Masters of Symbolic Lodges, and the Adepts of the Eagle of Sun. He also talks about the Princes of the Royal Degrees and the Sovereign Inspector General, which was above the 33rd degree. These are all the chapters that he managed to encounter while he was in the lodge. But best believe that there are definitely more around today. Now let's talk about joining the Masons and taking on the first degrees and the oath the Masons take in the first 3 degrees. The book reveals the process done in every lodge to initiate a new member to the first degree of Masonry as William experienced it. First, a person must be sponsored by a person that is already a member. Then the member must present the new candidate to the lodge members and officials for a voting. This is when the process moves on to a ballot system. This ballot system, which all members of the lodge participate in, is what's used to approve a new member into the first degree. The ballot works by passing out a black and white ball to all members that are used as votes. The white ball is an approval for the new candidate, and the black ball is a disapproval. Once all members put their ball in the box, a member then takes the box to the master, senior, and junior wardens of the lodges. If everyone agrees on the member joining, the master of the lodge then proceeds with the initiation ritual. The master then asks the candidate the following question: do you sincerely declare upon your honor before these gentlemen that, unbiased by friends, uninfluenced by unworthy motives, you freely and voluntarily offer yourself a candidate for the mysteries of Masonry? The candidate answers, I do. And then the senior deacon tells the candidate, do you sincerely declare upon your honor before these gentlemen that you're prompt to solicit the privileges of Masonry by a favorable opinion conceived of the institution, a desire of knowledge, and a sincere itch of being serviceable to your fellow creatures? Then the candidate is instructed to answer, I do. Then the senior deacon tells the candidate, do you sincerely declare upon your honor before these gentlemen that you would cheerfully conform to all the ancient established usages and customs of the fraternity? Once the member agrees, the warden of the lodge states, brethren, at the request of Mr., he has been proposed and accepted into the regular form. I therefore recommend him as a proper candidate for the mysteries of Masonry and worthy to partake of the privileges of the fraternity, and in consequence, a declaration of his intentions voluntarily made. I believe he would cheerfully conform to the rules of the order. This is when the member gets prepped for the initiation ritual. In the book, it tells us that the candidate is divested of their clothing and given a pair of Masonic boxers. The man is then blindfolded, his left foot bare, his right in a slipper, his left chest and arm exposed, and a rope called a cable tow is placed around the member's neck and left arm. The member is then brought to the temple's door, where the senior deacon makes 3 knocks on the door, which are answered by 3 knocks from within. The conductor gives 1 more, which is also answered by 1 more from within. The door is then partly open, and the junior deacon generally asks, who comes there? Who comes there? Who comes there? The conductor answers, a poor blind candidate who has been long desirous of having and receiving a part of the rights and benefits of this worshipful lodge, erected to God and held forth to the holy orders of St. John, as all true fellows and brothers have done, who have gone this way before him. The junior deacon then asks, is it of his own free will and accord he makes this request? Is he duly and truly prepared, worthy and well qualified, and properly avouched for? All of which is being answered by yes by the candidate. After this, the warden tells the candidate to enter the room, and the junior deacon is at the same time pressing his left chest with the point of the compasses, and he then asks the candidate, do you feel anything? With the candidate responding, I did. Then the junior deacon responds to the candidate, what is it? He answers, a torture. The junior deacon then says, as this is a torture to your flesh, so may it ever be to your mind and consciousness if you ever should attempt to reveal the secrets of Masonry unlawfully. The candidate is then conducted to the center of the lodge, where he and the senior deacon kneel, and the deacon says the following prayer, vouchsafe thine aid, Almighty Father of the universe, to this our present convention, and the grant that this candidate for Masonry may dedicate and devote his life to thy service, and become a true and faithful brother among us, and do him with a competency of thy divine wisdom, that by the secrets of our arts he may then be better enabled to display the beauties of holiness to the honor of thy holy name. So mote it be. Amen. The master then asks the candidate, in whom do you put your trust? The candidate answers, in God. The master then takes him by the right hand and says, since in God you put your trust, arise, follow your leader, and fear no danger. After this is done, the worshipful master approaches the candidate and instructs him to take the Masonic oath, which is, I, followed by the candidate's name, of my own free will and accord in presence of the Almighty God, and this worshipful lodge of free and accepted Masons dedicated to God, and held forth to the holy order of St. John, do hereby and hereon most solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will always hail, ever conceal, and never reveal any parts, arts or arts, points of the secrets, arts, and mysteries of the ancient Freemasonry, which I have received and am about to receive, or may hereafter be instructed in, to any person or persons in the world, except to be a true and lawful brother of Masons, or within the body of a just and lawfully constituted lodge of such, and not unto him nor unto them, whom I shall hear so to be, but unto them only after strict trial and due examination of lawful information. Furthermore, do I promise and swear that I will not write, print, stamp, stain, hew, cut, carve, indent, paint, or engrave it on anything movable or immovable, under the whole canopy of heaven, whereby or within the least letter, figure, character mark, stain, shadow, or resemblance of the same may become legible or illegible to myself or any other person in the known world, whereby the secrets of Masonry may be unlawfully obtained through my unworthiness. To all which I do most solemnly and sincerely promise and swear, without the least evocation of mental reservation or self-evasion of mind in me whatsoever. Binding myself under no less penalty than to have my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea at low water mark, where the tide ebbs and flows in 24 hours. So help me God. Once the member finishes the promises, the master addresses the candidate in the following manner. Brother, to you the secrets of Masonries are about to be unveiled, and a brighter sun never shine a luster on your eyes. While prostrate before this sacred altar, do you not shudder at every crime? Have you not confidence in every virtue? May these thoughts ever inspire you with the most notable sentiments. May you ever feel the elevation of soul that shall scorn a dishonest act. Brother, what do you most desire? The candidate answers light. The master to the candidate, brethren, stretch forth your hands and assist in bringing in this new made brother from darkness to light. The members then form a circle around the candidate, and the master says, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. At the same time, all of the members clap their hands and stomp on the floor with their right feet as heavy as possible, the bandage dropping from the candidate's eyes at the same instant, which after having been so long blind and full of fearful apprehensions all the time, this great and sudden transition from perfect darkness to a light brighter than the sun sometimes produces an alarming effect. After the candidate is brought to the light, the master addresses him as follows. Brother, on being brought to the light, you first discover the three great lights and the three lesser lights, which represent the sun, the moon, and the great worshipful master. As they state, the sun governs the morning, the moon governs the night, and the worshipful master governs the lodge. Then after the first degree, the Mason takes the second degree initiation. This is the preparation for the fellow crafts degree. The member is ushered into the preparation room as before and divested of all his clothing as in the preceding degree. In this case, the right leg of the old drawers is raised up above the knee, the right sleeve of the shirt is rolled up above the elbow, and the slipper is now put on the left foot. The blindfold is again put over both eyes, and the cable toe is put twice around the right arm, and an apron tied on, in which in this condition he is prepared and led by the junior deacon to the door of the lodge as before. The worshipful master tells the candidate, you will advance to the altar, kneel upon your right knee, your left arm forming a square, and your right hand resting on the Holy Bible and square compasses. For the third degree, the member is conducted into the preparation room as in the preceding degrees. All his clothing is once again removed as before. Both legs of the drawers are tucked above the knee. Both sleeves of the shirt are tucked above the elbow. His chest is completely exposed, and the blindfold is again fastened over both eyes, and the cable toe is put 3 times around his body. No slipper is used in this degree. Should the shirt be closed in front, it must be taken off or turned front backwards, as the chest must be bare. An apron is then tied on and worn as a fellow craft, and this is when he is ready for the initiation. As you can see, each member is forced to take an oath punishable by death to never reveal their secrets. In the book, they show us the rituals for the second and third degrees and many other degrees. Now, I won't be going over all those rituals in this episode as it would make it way too long. But if you want to see a part 2 dedicated only to the rituals, comment part 2 below. If enough of you want to see that, I'll make sure to get it done. Now, let's talk about some of the secret phrases and grips used by Masons that are revealed in this book. One hand grip the Masons use is called the pass grip, used to identify each member. The pass grip is given by taking each other by the right hand, as though going to shake hands, and each putting his thumb between the 4th and 2nd finger, where they join the hands, pressing the thumb between the joints. The name of this grip is called the Shabalaf. The grip looks like this. They also talk about the grip of a fellow craft Mason, which is given by putting the thumb on the joint of the 2nd finger, where it joins the hand, and crooking your thumb so that each can stick the nail of his thumb into the joint of the other. The name of this grip is Jackin. In the book, we also learn the secret word of the Master Mason, which is Tubocane. This is the Masonic pose called the Guard of the Fellow Crafts, and is done by holding out the right hand a little from the body and on a line with the lower button of the vest, and the palm being upon and turned down outward, the palm being open and turned downward, also raising the left arm as to form a right angle at the elbow, from the shoulder to the elbow being horizontal and forearm perpendicular. This Masonic pose is called the sign of a fellow crafts and is made by dropping the left hand carelessly to the side and at the same time raising the right hand to the left chest area, with the palm towards the chest area and the fingers a little crooked. Then draw the hand smoothly across the chest from left to right and let it drop perpendicularly to the side. These are just some of the Masonic poses and grips taught in the book. This is why I often say in many videos that symbol, hand poses, and gestures are all important in Masonry. In this book, it's made clear that this is how Masons communicate with each other. What we have learned so far is that each Mason has to take an oath of secrecy never to reveal their secrets. We learned the punishment for exposing those secrets. We also learned about some of the grips done by Masons, also some of the Masonic poses. I'm planning on making a part 2 going further into the rituals and revealing more of the Masonic grips and secrets. I try to compress as much information as possible in this video while making it as understandable and interesting as possible, as reading this book was truly a chore. If you guys want to buy the book yourselves and go through the rituals on your own, you can find the book on Amazon. They have it available on there. Well, I'm gonna end this one here, but before you guys go, I wanted to politely ask you to like, comment, and share this video so that it'll be recommended to others. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.